Welcome along to another Pixiecast. I think it's number 23 in this series, and I'm heading to the northeast of England this morning to talk to a wonderful man, a very, very, very lovely man, a man who I'm very proud to call a friend. I haven't spoken to him for far too long, but it's great to see him and speak to him this morning. It is, of course, Dean Bossanova Young. Dean, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, you lovely charmer, you.
Well, you know, set off on the right stance, with these sort of things. It gets a lot worse, trust me. I will go all Paxman on you.
Oh, you better have.
You like an interrogation, do you?
I do, yes, but we'll talk about that another time.
Oh, I knew you were going to be trouble. What are we, 10 seconds in? So, you are in Saltburn. Tell us about Saltburn.
Oh, Saltburn is a lovely Victorian seaside town on the northeast coast, just outside Middlesbrough.
Mm-hmm.
It's Middlesbrough's a smoggy area, not a Geordie area, and they don't like to be mixed up.
No, I've got my best man. He's from Middlesbrough, and if I want to wind him up, I call him a Geordie. So
yeah. So we're at the mouth of the River Tees.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lovely pier and one of very, very few water-powered cliff lifts.
Wow, gosh.
I think there's only one or two left in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Saltburn being one of them. It's a lovely place. It's quiet. There's plenty of strange people here, so I fit well in.
Okay. And have you been up and down the lift a few times?
I have, yes. We actually we were married at the end of the pier, Rachel and I.
Right.
And we used the lift to get down to the pier and back up to our house for our wedding do.
Oh, how romantic. That's lovely.
And it didn't break down once.
Excellent. Well done. And you've been going up and down ever since?
Well, you know, when the mood takes us.
This next half an hour or so could be exactly like this, innuendo after innuendo. So what do you do when you mean,
Mr. Barge?
I beg your pardon?
I don't know what you mean.
No, I'm sure you don't do. So when you're not going up and down with your wife, what do you do for a living?
I'm a senior support worker for
right.
Adults with autism and learning disabilities, as well as other issues. So I support them. We have a unit where they have their own flats with their own tenancies. Mm-hmm. So we're just trying to help them live the best life they can.
So trying to live as independently as they can then?
Yes. They're all lazy as hell, but we do try.
And how long have you been doing that then?
I've been working in this job for almost 2 years now.
Right.
I was a support worker for another company, which was mainly learning disabilities previously, and I think I was there for 5 years.
And Rachel does the same. Rachel, your wife, obviously.
Yes, she's currently working for the company that I used to work for.
Okay.
And she's doing night shifts there at the moment.
But you're not originally from that part of the world, are you? You're from over on the west side of England.
I'm from the arsehole of the world.
The arsehole of the world.
Am I allowed to say arsehole?
Well, you just have. People have said far worse on this show, so don't worry about it. You're a Lancashire lad, aren't you?
I'm a Lancashire lad, which is a lovely place.
Yeah.
Even
though you just described it as an arsehole.
Well, the arsehole lives in Lancashire. It's a town called Burnley.
Burnley,
which should be a lovely place. Be a lovely place, but it is kind of the arsehole of the world. I won't go into too many details as to why. Beautiful surroundings, though. And also, my beautiful daughter lives there. Still.
You haven't seen since lockdown, you're saying?
Since lockdown, yes.
Wow.
Which is since Christmas actually. We last saw. Yeah.
Wow. That's terrible.
But we live in hope.
Indeed. Boris will sort it out. Don't worry. So you moved from Burnley. I keep saying
I did.
Burnley. That's the only word I can say in a Lancashire accent. Burnley.
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 I'll teach you another then. The next town on Blackburn.
Blackburn. I've
Yeah.
been to Blackburn, but I can't say Accrington in a Lancashire accent. Despite being in Lancashire, I can only say it in a Scouse accent because of the milk advert. Accrington.
All right.
Anyway, so you moved over to the northeast.
Yes.
To the lovely Saltburn for the last 8 years.
That's right. Yes.
And living a nice life by the seaside.
Lovely. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
good.
Yeah, it's been a good move all round.
Excellent. So Pixies then. Let's talk Pixies. Where did it all begin for you?
Where did it all begin? It all began probably 1989.
Okay.
I had a good friend at school, and we used to, on a Saturday morning, we used to walk into Burnley town centre.
Yeah.
And we'd pick up the music magazines, music papers.
Mm-hmm.
I think we avoided Enemy like the plague back then. It was all Melody Maker and Sounds.
Oh, okay.
Which seemed a bit more kind of had a bit more of an edge than Enemy, I think.
Interesting.
So we used to troll through and find articles about bands that we thought might be interesting, then we go around to the local record shop and see if they had anything by the people that we'd just read about.
Mm-hmm.
And if they did, we'd buy them. One of us would buy them, whoever had money that week.
Yeah.
We'd go back to one of our houses. Oh no, actually we'd go and watch Burnley FC.
Right.
If they were playing at home.
The Clarets.
The Clarets. I'm not a Burnley fan, but obviously
I know you're a Liverpool fan. I know.
You take a bit of football where we can, yeah. I'm a Liverpool fan, yeah.
Yeah, good man.
So it was more like fish and chips instead of caviar.
Right. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So then we'd go back to each other's houses.
Yeah.
We'd play the music.
Mm-hmm.
We'd tape it for one another. Oh, naughty. And our music would grow from there, and we came across the Pixies.
Okay. They used to give away free tapes and things like that, didn't they? Sort of before CDs had really taken off as well. They used to give away free tapes.
Get a tape on the front of the magazine, yeah.
A cassette tape, yeah. There's no innuendo in that, Dean.
I'll find one.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, so that's where it started. So I'd heard a few tracks, things like Debaser and things like that, probably first of all. I think we probably heard them first on a compilation that we got.
Yeah.
And then in 1990, Bossanova was released.
Mm-hmm.
And Bossanova blew my mind.
Because you use it in your name, don't you? So it's clearly an album that changed your life.
Yeah, definitely. Because it was unlike anything I'd heard before.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so uplifting and beautiful music and horrible lyrics in some cases. But, I've always been a lyric man.
Mm-hmm.
And even though Charles, dismisses a lot of his lyrics and things, they really spoke to me.
Yeah.
So then I went to see them. Probably my first proper, big band music gig.
Yeah.
They were kind of classed as a big band in the indie world.
No, they were. Yeah.
Saw them at Preston Guildhall.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
yeah,
it was an amazing set. I can't even remember who supported.
Right.
But
what year would that have been then?
That was late 1990.
Okay, so I saw them on that tour as well because they played at Exeter. So that was the Bossanova tour that they played.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? Did they have like the big red curtain across the stage? I don't know what kind of stage it was, but when I saw them at Exeter, they had a big red curtain, and they played rock music behind the curtain, and then it dropped, and they went straight into
I
Alison.
think it was Black Curtain at the Guildhall.
Okay, yeah. So I think
that was amazing.
I think it was a band called Bark Market.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's right.
And they weren't bad.
No, they're okay. I don't think they're around anymore, but they're an American band. Yeah, it was definitely Bark Market that supported them on that tour. Yeah, so that was your first time.
It was, yes.
Yeah.
And then my second time was 20 odd years later.
Yeah.
At Newcastle O2 Academy.
Okay.
Me and Rach went up to see them, and they were amazing. And
this is after they got back together.
Yeah. It was, what tour was it? It would have been the Head Carrier tour.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
And shortly after, I joined the Pixies group.
Yeah.
And that's how I met you, Reprobates.
Charming. That's nice, isn't it?
Always charming.
Always charming, team.
But I believe quite a few of our members were at that gig as well.
I dare say, yeah. There seems to be quite a few gigs that a lot of the members were at. So a big fan. Clearly, with a name like Dean Bossanova Young, I don't need to ask you what your favourite album is, and you've already said that it blew your mind. But have you got a favourite track from all the Pixies catalogue?
Favourite? It does change on probably an hourly basis. Yeah. It can change on a minute by minute basis, just listening to them.
Okay, so here we are, Thursday, 11/21 on 24th of September, 2020. Yes. What's your favourite Pixies track?
Today, my favourite Pixies track is, I think, Silver Bullet.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah, okay. I'm feeling that track at the moment. Ever since Beneath the Eyrie was released, that was my favourite track off it.
Cool. Okay, I think that's the first one off Beneath the Eyrie that's been chosen. So, good shout. Excellent.
It'll be different tomorrow.
Okay. Well, we'll do this again tomorrow then.
Okay. Yeah. It'll probably be I Bleed tomorrow.
Okay. All right. We'll just change our clothes, so you know.
Yeah.
And you can have a shave as well. So.
I think you should.
Hey mate, I had a shower 10 minutes before coming on air for you today. I don't do that for everyone that I speak to, you know.
So. And you smell gorgeous.
You can smell me from there, can you?
Yeah, you're looking like Louis Theroux as well, in cake form.
I can't believe that. For anyone who's not friends with me on Facebook, there's was it Bake Off, a new series of Bake Off, and the contestants had to do cakes of famous people, and somebody did one of Louis Theroux, the Anglo-American documentary maker, and it looked nothing like Louis Theroux, to the point that Jordan, my wife, said it looked more like me than it looked like Louis Theroux. And then someone said it looked like Harold Shipman, but we won't go into the career of Mr. Harold Shipman or Dr. Harold Shipman, as was.
Yeah. Not somebody you want to be compared with, really, is it?
Not really, no, not really. But there we go. That just shows you the quality of my friends that I have, and my dear wife as well. So.
Well, you know, she wouldn't say it if she didn't love you.
No, quite. Did you see the little message that she left me on the table yesterday as well?
Yeah, that was beautiful, wasn't it?
It was beautiful, wasn't it? Yeah, the little heart and everything.
Yeah.
Bless her. So
do you get those regularly?
Yeah, it's not normally written down though. It's just said to my face. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Pixies, I can't speak now. Pixies before the breakup and Pixies when they reformed. Any views on which sort of body of work you prefer, or you're just happy with all of it?
What out of the new stuff?
Yeah, so obviously they broke up after Trump, and then which was 29 years old yesterday, and then got back together, of course, with Indie Cindy, Head Carrier, various EPs and things like that, and obviously Beneath the Eyrie.
You're not mentioning Bamthwok there.
Nothing wrong with Bamthwok. Someone chose Bamthwok the other day for that question, which I will be asking you at the end of this interview
All right.
about.
Yeah, good answer.
So, yeah. I don't think Bamthwok's that bad when you think about what it's intended for, the audience that it's intended for. You know,
I think it's good. It's got a good feel about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Indie Cindy.
Yeah.
I think the production and the track ordering is terrible.
Mm. Yeah.
But as a body of work, it's fantastic.
Mm.
Head Carrier, fantastic.
Yeah.
Beneath the Eyrie has taken them, you know, to another dimension as well.
Yeah.
They're still Pixies. There's nothing un-Pixies about it at all.
No.
I mean, people have said, "Oh, it's just Frank Black with Pixies backing him," but there were always Frank Black with Pixies backing him,
right?
Yeah. You know, so no, I'm really pleased with it all. I don't think I've skipped a track yet.
That's good.
But you know, I don't think I ever have with Pixies.
Yeah.
And can I just say that Silver is one of my favourite songs, and people should not skip it. It belongs
going so well, Dean. I used to like you.
You just don't get it, do you?
Probably not. No, I think I spoke about this when I chatted to Adam on this as well. And I think it's a good song, but for me, it just doesn't fit with the album, the rest of the album. I think that's what it is. But then other people, they like it for that very reason as well, because it changes the tempo. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm right, you're wrong. This is my show. So there we are.
Okay.
I'd like to hear, there probably are other versions of Silver actually, done in a different style on that, which I probably should check out. And maybe then I'll start to appreciate the song a little bit more. So thank you for that. Okay. So when they split up, did you sort of continue to be interested in the work of obviously Charles, and obviously Kim went off to form Breeders?
I certainly was, yeah. I mean, I grieved Pixies ending, but I mean, Frank Black, that first album was immense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd already loved Pod by Breeders. And maybe tailed off a little after TK, whatever it is. I didn't think that was a great Breeders album.
I kind of dropped them really after the last splash, so yeah, I haven't really followed them ever since. But then I didn't, after the first two Frank Black albums, I sort of lost a bit of interest.
I kind of tailed off with Frank as well, and it's more recently. But with, you know, through the group really, and people encouraging that, so I've rediscovered a lot of stuff really. Been brilliant.
So is there a track that you particularly like for Frank Black's solo career?
It will probably be off the first album, to be fair. And thinking of names just at the moment, there's nothing coming to me. But I also absolutely adore the soundtrack to the Golem.
Okay.
Which is actually credited to Black Francis rather than Frank Black. So am I allowed to choose anything off there?
Yeah, no, my rules aren't that strict. Not for you, Dean.
Now, because I know the music from the soundtrack, and I only listen to the soundtrack whilst watching the film, sort of thing.
Okay.
I don't actually know individual track names on it.
Right. Okay.
But there's one, Bad News, I think it's called, possibly. But I love that track. I think I'll choose that as my favourite Frank Black solo.
Okay. I will check that out, and if you're wrong, I will be messaging you about it. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll keep my eyes on my inbox.
Okay. Good man.
Oh, Mrs. That's what she said.
You're worse than Helen Young, you know that, don't you?
Helen Young?
Not a name you're familiar with?
Helen Young. Helen Young.
Kate Hester,
No.
she was quite bad. It's all the ladies, well, up until now. So that caused me trouble.
Well, that's what ladies are for.
Oh dear. Anyway, you've met my wife, haven't you?
I have, yes, and my last comment stands true.
So, T-shirts. Pixies T-shirts. Are you into Pixies T-shirts and posters?
I love it. I love a Pixies T-shirt, yes.
Yeah.
My gig T-shirt for many years was Here Comes Your Man T-shirt.
Oh, right, okay.
The dog.
Yeah.
The bulldog with, it's American Pit Bull, isn't it? That's right.
Yeah.
Just with Pixies written on it. And that ended up with holes in it and stretched way out of shape, but that was my favourite T-shirt for years.
Right.
I don't have many now, but I do have a replacement for that one.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yes, it's the same T-shirt.
Oh, right, okay. Well, just in a larger middle-aged man size now, is it?
What are you trying to say? Andrew, I'm offended.
I can say this, you're 300 miles away from me, it's fine.
Are you trying to say that I'm...
come on, we all put on a few extra pounds, don't we, in middle age, especially during COVID.
It depends where you put them, though.
You know, when I put these up on my YouTube channel, it says, are these appropriate for children? I mean, I always tick no anyway. I think yours will come with an extra warning.
I don't know what you mean. I've not said anything dangerous, have I? Other than arsehole? A dangerous arsehole, there we go.
Oh, dearie me. So, posters. Have you got any Pixies posters?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at one right now.
Okay.
Would you like me to show you?
If you can, yeah.
Turning around now. Can you see that?
Sort of, yeah. Tell us which one it is.
It's one of the tour posters that's done by one of the various artists.
Okay.
For the 2019 European tour. Is that better for you?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
With is that a raven or an eagle? It's an eagle.
It's some kind of.
It's a ferocious bird.
Terrifying looking bird sat on a skull. Kimball will hate it because it's a skull.
Okay, fair enough. I'm sure Kimball will be commenting later on. Okay, so where are we? So we've spoken about his solo career. So happenings and meeting up with people from the Facebook group and that. You've done a little bit of that, haven't you?
I've dabbled.
You've dabbled. Yes. dipped your toe in the water.
I have, yes. Oh, nice reference.
Thank you.
Yes. Have you been practicing those? Have you got them written down?
No, they just come off just like that. I'm a natural, can't you tell?
How are you unemployed?
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I'm resting. I'm resting at the moment.
Yes.
I'm like an actor.
Yes. Almost exactly like one. So yes, happenings. So which happenings?
Did you go to Manchester?
Manchester? No, I missed Manchester.
Oh, okay. The best people did.
I will be forever in grief for, because it looked amazing. But no, the Roundhouse,
which was where you and I first met.
Yes.
When you parked yourself on the bonnet of my Datsun Cherry for a photo.
I did, yes. Unbeknownst to you. and then I crawled through your car as well.
You did. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I know. Everyone says that when they first meet me.
Yeah,
Oh, the show you mean? Sorry.
We went to a show as well.
We did, apparently. Yeah, there was some band playing in the corner in this room.
Yeah. Obviously, there was Adele's wedding as well.
There was, yeah. So I'm going to come on to that. So just so Roundhouse, that was Halloween as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I also almost got knocked out at that gig.
Did you?
Yes.
Was that your own fault or someone else's?
It was someone else's. Some idiot, obviously non-Pixies fan behind me.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Who had his back to the show most of the show.
Yeah. One of those.
And kind of managed to headbutt me.
Yeah.
From behind.
Oh, I remember this now. Yeah, because you had to go and sit down or something, didn't you, for a little while?
Yeah.
You said, yeah. No, I remember you saying that now. Yeah.
But yeah.
But you're okay, obviously. No lasting damage.
No lasting damage.
And then on to Adele's wedding, where of course you had a starring role.
I wouldn't say a starring role. No, I think Adele.
Well, obviously Adele and Simon were the main stars, but you know you were part of the crew, weren't you?
Yeah,
the supporting cast.
I had a little part, but I'll put that down to having a cold shower.
And so you played us a few tunes.
I did, yes.
Do you remember your set list?
I can remember some of it, I think.
Do you remember how you chose what you were going to play? Is it just you just chose anything that you could play, or was any of it particularly poignant?
Whenever I do play anywhere,
yeah,
I usually follow Rachel's advice.
Okay.
In not playing all the depressing stuff.
Right. Okay. So you keep away from sort of the Smiths and Leonard Cohen and stuff like that, then do you?
It brings my set list right down then.
Right. Okay. But so how did you come up with the tracks that you were going to play? Do you remember?
I just thought I know some of these people. I know what kind of things they like, and so I think I played one or two Pixies tracks, and I think I did a Beatles track or something. And I subjected you to some of my own stuff as well, didn't I?
Yeah, but that was good. There's nothing wrong with that.
I had a captive audience, so.
You did. None of us turned our back on you.
No, or headbutted anybody.
No, exactly. So, it was a good gig, clearly.
With the lovely Peter and Duncan as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all doing your turn.
Yeah, and we also did one together.
You did? Yeah.
Yes.
What was that? I forget now. What was that?
It was Cactus.
It was Cactus. You're quite right. One of my favourite tracks, actually.
Yeah, it's a fantastic track.
Yeah. Had you rehearsed that beforehand, the three of you?
We did about 5 minutes up in the camping field.
Oh, right, okay.
Before we walked down, yeah.
Right.
But I think it's one all three of us already knew, so
yeah.
We just worked out what each of us were going to be doing and just jammed around that.
Yeah, and a good weekend for everyone as well, wasn't it? It was a lovely weekend.
A weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah,
beautiful.
It really was. Yeah,
amazing people.
And on the Sunday when Hey Pixies played, did you sing along?
I sang along. I didn't do a karaoke slot.
Did you not?
No,
well, that's disappointing.
Well, everybody else was so good. Why spoil it?
You got a lovely voice, mate.
Oh, thank you.
You got a voice of an angel.
Okay, that's left me speechless.
Oh, blimey! There's a first. So, had you been pushed up on stage then, or to sing a song, what would you have gone for? And this isn't the naked one; that's still to come.
Yeah,
might be the same song. I don't know. But
see, song. I'd probably go for something like "I Bleed," because it's just it's sexy.
It is sexy.
Yeah.
Dirty and sexy with a bit of blood.
Much like yourself, without the blood. My first meeting with a member was when Duncan buried me in the woods.
Oh, okay.
That's
not a euphemism as well, is it?
No, it was one of those things where it was kind of scary meeting someone for the first time.
Yeah. I think we all felt like that a little bit.
Yeah, and we met up in a car park by Townley Woods.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it all sounded a bit dodgy in the first place.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, so gotten like a house on fire, obviously.
Yeah.
And the joke was for a while that he'd buried me in a box in the woods.
Right.
But that was the start of thinking it's actually okay to meet strange people off the internet.
Absolutely. People were so sort of against it beforehand, weren't they, for whatever reason?
But I mean, I met Rach on the internet anyway.
Well, there you go. Yeah. It does work out sometimes.
It does.
Yeah. Okay, so that was your performance, shall we say, at Adele's wedding, and so soon after that, Beneath the Eyrie was released, which you've already spoken a little bit about, but clearly an album that you really enjoy.
Yeah, I struggled with a couple of bits of it, just bits of things at the start, but now they're things that I've come to love.
There's no sort of constant theme to it, I don't think, is there really? It's sort of, in terms of the songs, it's sort of, I mean, they all sit together really nicely, I think, but
yeah,
not like with Bossanova, there's that sort of theme running through, isn't there? And the early stuff, there's themes that run through the album, but I don't sort of sense that really with Beneath the Eyrie.
I think there is. I think it's a more vague kind of theme. That there's a theme of an impending darkness, I think, about Beneath the Eyrie.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
You know, something lurking, I think.
Yes.
Which I think kind of fits in with the earlier albums, because I don't think their themes kind of ran through everything, did it?
No.
You know, I think as time goes on, you start to read more into them, and that's where the themes become more apparent, I think.
Yeah. And what about the work of the Catholics? Let's talk a bit about Frank.
I'm not really familiar with the Catholics.
No, you're not.
I'll hear the odd track and think, oh yeah, that's pretty cool and stuff, but it's an area that I still need education on the Catholics, I think.
Okay. Any tracks that you do particularly like, though, that you can give me? Because you choose 3 tracks in this show, so you can choose another track completely random if you want.
See, with me not being that familiar with the Catholics, it's names of things. I don't think I could give you a favourite Catholics track.
That's okay.
Can I give you another favourite Frank solo track?
Of course you can, or another Pixies track. Or a complete random track, something else that means something to you.
I will give you Czar off Frank's first solo album. It was kind of, the Pixies have split up, but it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right because, you know, Frank's still here.
The second time it's been chosen. Czar.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Do you want to know who? Do you want to know who chose it?
Yeah.
None other than Mr. John Cole.
I've not seen him, right?
I was tempted to say you're in good company, but you know, you may have your own views on that.
No, that's good company. Yeah,
it is good company. Excellent company. Okay, so Czar it is for your 3rd track. Okie dokie. So I've only got one more question to ask you, and that is from the lovely Joe Kirkham over there on the Wirral, posh part of Merseyside. So you are in a dream.
I am. Yes.
and suddenly you find
Like
yourself
right now, Andrew. And
a dream as opposed to a nightmare.
You don't want to know what's going on.
Especially with those gloves on. You are in a dream, and suddenly you find yourself on stage in front of thousands of people, and you are completely naked. You haven't even got that sock on this time, mate. Okay.
Completely naked again.
Yeah, without the sock on. We saw the famous sock picture.
Yeah.
Which Pixies which Pixies song are you going to sing?
It'd have to be a very short one, wouldn't it? Hey.
Hey. Or a very long one. You can choose gigantic if you like.
I think gigantic is too obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, even by your standards.
Yes. Is it a warm night or a cold night?
It's a typical Saltburn night.
Right.
With a name like Saltburn, you want to get your clothes back on quickly.
Yeah. I think I'll call it. I think I'd go for dead.
Dead. Okay. Brilliant. Lovely. Dean, it's been great to see you again, mate. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.
It's been absolutely beautiful to see you, Andrew.
I know, that's what they all say. That's what they all say. And hopefully once we get through the other side of all this mess, then we can catch up again and have a beer and a proper man hug.
Yes.
Look forward to it.
Definitely.
You take care of yourself, won't you? Top man.
You too. You too.
Lovely
It's been fantastic. Look after yourself.
I will do. All the best. Love to Rachel.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.